It's so cool. It's from streambeats.com. It's kind of a Christmas holiday theme. Hey, 6 o'clock in Los Angeles and up and down the west coast of the United States. 9 o'clock in the morning in New York City, Jacksonville, Florida, Cornwall, Connecticut, and the east coast of America. 2 o'clock in London, England. 7:30 in Mumbai, India. In Kyoto, Japan, it's 11 o'clock at night. And here in Malaysia, it is always 1984. I'm Jay Sheldon, and I'm not wearing pants. Welcome in, welcome all the way. I don't know why, suddenly I feel like Christmas. Tis the season, but, you know. Yeah, so there you go. Welcome. Hello, happy Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. I shouldn't be in a good mood because it's Monday, but whatever. Life's all right. We're going good. We got some Christmas special ideas going around in my head, so we'll be talking about some of that behind the scenes, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do for Christmas. And right now, though, to start off the show, it is time to give you what you come here for, a Mikko update. Mikko update. Mikko update. Mikko update. She's great. She's doing good. She's eating me out of house and home again. Tonight, we made her this huge dinner. We cooked some meat for her, either chicken or beef. We add it to some good high-quality wet food, and then we give her some probiotics and some other stuff, and so she eats this big bowl of food. And then when she's done with that, and she ate a hot dog tonight. Yeah, okay, we'll see. Then she goes and she eats her kibbles afterwards, so she's still hungry. I don't know. For some reason, she's still hungry, but that's all right. And then she winds up looking like this. This is what a dog looks like when it's overstuffed with food. That, by the way, is her brand new toy, which she loves to death, the duck. Her duck, which we only just discovered also has a squeaker in it. So this is Mikko in absolute bliss and getting a head scratch. Look at that. She's just zonked. Unbelievable. That is pure joy and pure love. Cool beans. All right. Hey, if you're listening across our live broadcast, we thank you for popping in. Be sure that you like and share. Subscribe. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch.tv, Facebook Live, and Rumble.com. Across all four platforms, and welcome in. Thank you. On Rumble, be sure that you can check out our locals account. On our Rumble page, there is a button at the top, a little red button next to the green subscribe button, which I hope and pray you will push because it really helps. Doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe to any one of our feeds. But also you can join our locals account where if you choose, not only can you see all of our posts, but you can help to support the project. And patreon.com/JSheldon is also the place you can go to help financially support what we do here. No obligation. If you choose to, you choose to. If you don't, you don't. We love you if you do, and we love you if you don't. We are also, of course, a podcast. Some of you, lots of you, hundreds of you, in fact, are listening to the audio part of our show. Now, as we always warn you, a lot of what we do is visual. So if you want to see some of the stuff that we're talking about, it's just that easy. You can go over in your spare time to Rumble or Twitch.tv or YouTube, Facebook. Check it out. Also, locals.com on the Jay Sheldon channel there. You'll find all of our video live streams. Tape delayed, of course. We're not live on local yet, but yeah, we're working on a couple of ideas for there too. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so we did all the plugs for Geo7 in India and Stitcher and Spotify and Amazon, all the podcast spots. You can find us. Just look for I'm Not Wearing Pants or that logo, and you will find us there. All those links, by the way, you'll see down here at the bottom. Right now it's talking about patreon.com, but also there is an everything link. If you go to that link, there's buttons for almost everything that we do here, so you can check it out. Also, whatever we talk about tonight is in the show notes. So down below in the description, you'll see hyperlinks, and you can check out, because when we talk about some things, we don't always do the whole article or read the whole article. We just share little bits and pieces and encourage you to go over and check out the actual websites. And we also apparently have found a new way to get more views and more subscriptions. And the answer was staring me right in the face all the time. I should have known. It's porn. Now I put this headline and this and the thumbnail on our thumbnail sketch tonight for the show purposely, because in our last stream we titled it "Stop the Panic Porn." Now, by panic porn, of course, I mean all the headlines about the virus and all the panic that the media tries to instill in everybody. I mean, they're loving this crap. And every time there's a new variant, no matter how mild or inane it is, you know, the media goes crazy, tries to drive the fear in everybody. And it's basically just panic porn. And so that's why we put that headline. And I put a rather pixelated, obscure photograph that you couldn't really figure out what it was. But the headline was like, "Stop the Panic Porn." Do you know, compared to normal shows, how many more subscriptions and hits and views I got because panic porn was in my headline? Like 10 or 20 times the normal amount of views, subscriptions, downloads, hits, likes I get on any other of 140, 8 broadcasts we've done here. I've been doing this show almost a whole year now, and 2 shows have stood out as being, look at these numbers, they're great. Quick, call the advertisers. One, and we didn't beat this yet, was my show about Japanese fart battles. That Japanese fart battle show, which was funny as hell. I encourage you to go find it. It's on all our platforms. I forget, it's show 30 something, but it's the Japanese fart battles. It's just one little segment of the show, but it's very funny. I lost it. I absolutely lost it. And that show is our most watched show ever. But our second most watched show ever, Saturday night. We didn't talk about porn. We don't talk about porn on this show. So if you came here for the porn, sorry, this ain't the show for you. But I did try an experiment, and I stuck the word porn in tonight's show title again. So we'll see. I'll let you know on Wednesday. But I will tell you that one of the downsides is that all the bots jump in the chat room, and all of them are trying to share these links to porn sites. Now, I don't have moderators because, frankly, my show's just not that big to have moderators. No need. But I do go in afterwards and I delete all those comments. Of course, I can't believe anybody in my audience. You're all smart enough to know not to click on those stupid porn links and those, make $1 million overnight buffalo sandwich links that the bots put in there. You're smart enough, I know, not to click on that, so don't worry about it. And I go in later and edit them all and block everybody and get rid of all these idiots. But anyway, apparently the secret to success is just put the word porn in your headline and put some simulated porn image on your thumbnail, And man, the algorithms go crazy. So we experiment tonight. We do it again. We'll see what the numbers look like. I'll let you know on Wednesday. Ah, man. Well, this is not related, but it is because, hey, porn, you know. A dear friend of mine made this public post today, and it's quite interesting. As you know, the Ghislaine Maxwell trial is going on. There's no cameras in the courtroom. All we get are some crappy images, and the reporters that are stuffed in a small room in a pool trying to, as best they can, relate to. But this is rather interesting that that trial is going on, and I'm not making a connection. You hear the neighbors' dogs? They're going crazy over there. Anyway, this is not a soundproof studio, okay? I'm not making a connection. I'm just saying. These are the latest CEOs and CFOs who have either stepped down or been permanently suspended in the last week or two. Strangely enough, did I mention the Ghislaine Maxwell Jeffrey Epstein trial was going on? Not saying anything. Probably just a coincidence. Amazon, Hulu, Disney, LinkedIn, Twitter, CNN's Chris Cuomo suspended indefinitely, Volkswagen, Victoria's Secret, T-Mobile, Harley, OkCupid, Hinge, Nissan, Microsoft, IBM, Urban Eats, eBay, MGM, Nestle's, all of their CEOs or CFOs have either resigned or been suspended. MasterCard, Big and Body, Velocity, Jewel, Salesforce, Waywalker Work, Team Duck, and apparently more to come. Why? Good question. We await the answers. We'll see. Link to that list, by the way, is in our show notes tonight if you want to check it out. What else have we got? All right, that's the only piece of weird news I have tonight to cause some controversy. I'm sorry again if you just joined us. There's no porn on this show, so if the headline fooled you, sorry. Hopefully you'll find what I'm doing entertaining, but it isn't going to be porn. Okay, just want to be clear about that. Have we been bumped off Facebook or Twitter yet? No, we're not on Twitter. But well, I share a link to the show on my Twitter account. If you want to follow me on Twitter, by the way, please do. It's at It's J Sheldon, ITS J Sheldon. If you want to follow me on Twitter. Oh, look, good timing. There it is right there. Follow me on Twitter at It's J Sheldon. I follow you back, by the way. Okay. I love this. I love this. As you know, in the past, I've always told you, tip your waiters and waitresses, tip your food servers, your wait staff, and other people too. You know, twice now in the last week, I've gone to a couple of little mini malls, and they've had these single entertainer guys, local folks, one woman, one guy, and they had a guitar and a microphone, and they were just singing, but they were both amazing. Incredible talents. And they've got a box in front of them for you to give them a tip if you like what they're doing. So I always do. If I'm enjoying the music and they're busting their butts trying to make an extra buck, I want to make it worth their while. I don't just throw $1 in there too. I at least make sure it's a $5 or a 10 or something. And it's not like, oh, aren't I good? Nice pat on the back to me. It's not what it's about. I'm trying to encourage you to do that. These men and women are incredibly talented. A lot of times their talents are, I don't want to say wasted by performing in a mall, but honestly, they deserve better than that. I'm just grateful they were actually there and I was able to listen because they were amazing. But if you see people like that, please do, even if it's just a buck. A buck is a buck. It matters and it adds up. So please do dump something in their boxes and show them that you appreciate what they're doing. These people have some real amazing talents. But this is one I saw, and this is what a great idea. Somebody in Malaysia needs to do that. And if you're going to do it, please let me know. Send me a message. Write me at NoPants@jsheldon.com. whatever. If you're going to do something like this, please, I want to take part with you. This is a tradition which happens every year, this group of people have done. And they get together with 18 people. This person, Cherry Anderson, and 17 of her friends get together for breakfast. And every person brings $100 bill. Now, this is in the U.S., so $100 in the U.S. is like, what, 420 something bucks for us here in Malaysia? Doesn't need to be that. Could be a 50 ringgit, 100 ringgit. But they get together with a $100 bill from every person. And they order a meal. They have breakfast. The bill comes to $200. So they've got $1,700. They pay the meal at $200, and the other $1,500, they give it to a tip, as a tip to the waitress. Unbeknownst to us, in this particular case, when they did this year, the waitress and her husband had recently hit a rough patch. She told us we restored her faith in humanity. We call this shock and claws, as in Claus, Santa Claus. And it says here, we challenge you to get your friends together and do the same. And here is an amazing picture of this group of folks who did this event. Okay, so it doesn't get much bigger than that. But there you go. It's absolutely amazing. There's the 17 people who all got together for breakfast. $200 bill for breakfast cost each of them $100, but the extra $1,500 went as a tip to the waitress. And that is just the coolest thing. And as happened in this case, you never know how you can change somebody's life. That is so cool. If somebody gets together here in Malaysia and does something like this, please let me know. I want to take part. That's a great idea. And along that lines, we talked about the amazing Dick Trehune, who is doing, or just closed his one-man show of the Christmas Carol, and in Boston. But he posted this, and again, it's related to exactly what we talked about. Some great advice. Not just about tipping, but the very first one is tip your server. Return your shopping cart. Pick up a piece of trash. Hold the door for the person behind you. Let someone into your lane. Small acts, random acts of kindness have a ripple effect, and that's how we change the world. Yes. Thank you for posting that, Dick. It's simple little words of advice, but you know what? It's those simple little things that make a difference. People appreciate it. Most of the time, people will say thank you. I always do. Do those little random acts of kindness. They really do help. All right. It took a lot to get you here. Here's another one. This is a little bit hard to see, so I'll read it for you. But it talks about how special you are. Do you have any idea what it took for you to be born? Check this out. Again, it's kind of tiny, so I'll read it. In order for you to have been born, you needed 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 6 great-grandparents, 16 second great-grandparents, 32 third great-grandparents, 64 fourth great-grandparents, and so it goes, and it numbers, and it multiplies until finally you needed 2,048 ninth great-grandparents. That's how many people it took to get all the way down to you. For you to be born today from 12 previous generations, you would need a total of 4,094 ancestors just to get to you over the past 400 years. Wow. There for a moment, how many struggles, how many battles, how many difficulties, how much sadness, how much happiness, how much love stories. Actually, now it's getting so faded I can't read the rest of it, but check out the link. It's in our show notes. And really, if you ever think you're not special, you don't matter, you're not important, take a look at this. And this will kick you in the ass and make you wake up and go, wow, that's what it took to make you. And if that doesn't shake you up and wake you up, I don't know what will, because that's pretty cool. 4,000 some odd people it took to make you. Very cool. All right. And one of you out there might be wasting all those people's effort. That would be the guy who invented this. If you are struggling for a Christmas gift this year, this just might do it. I could think of a couple people that I could gift this to. If you are listening to the podcast, I'm sorry. I believe there's a link in the show notes. I will do my best to describe what my live audience and video audience is seeing right now. It's called Toilet Meadow. And the headline says, "Go close to nature." An organic seat cover grows up to 1 inch in under a week. So, oh man. So when you put this down on your seat, in 1 week, you will have fresh green grass that may or may not need to be mowed. And for the pack here, you get 6 pre-seated seat covers. I can't. I just can't. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's actually a product. It's not fake. It's real. It exists. I love the thing on the side. It says free spirit. Close to nature, toilet meadow, organic seat covers. Slide forward and you'll save hundreds of dollars. Yes. Thank you, Sean. Exactly right. I suppose you could do that. I don't think that might be why you've got 6 pre-seated ones, because if you choose to slide forward, then I think you'd have to probably cut the grass after that. Oh man. Why do I do this? Okay, enough. Get rid of that. Dump it. Dump it. Dump it, huh? Yes, dump it. Oh. That was not planned. Oh, man. I'm telling you. This show has gone downhill. First of all, for 2 shows in a row, I put porn in the headlines just to see. Manure for the grass. Yeah. Just to see what the numbers do this time, because as I told you, if you just joined us, Saturday night we had porn in our headline. We were doing a segment about panic porn with the virus and all that crap, and the media trying to make things worse than it already is. And so we did such amazing numbers with our viewers and subscriptions and all. By the way, don't forget, please hit that subscribe button down here. If you're on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, follow. It really does help me a lot. Anyway, so so now I think probably real grass toilet seat covers will be the next big thing. It'll be Japanese fart battles, panic porn, and real grass toilet covers. What can I say? I just put it out there. I throw it down. You want to pick it up? You pick it up. That's also disgusting. All right, we're going to get to we are going to get to our book here in just a minute. Um, but before we do that, two small little short things I want to share with you. It is, as we've mentioned a couple times, it is the Christmas season. People are doing some Christmas shopping, and they're thinking about what to get for their kids, what to get for their loved ones. But if on your list of maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, uh, if a pet is on your list, particularly a dog or a cat, please do remember that these are not, they're cute as puppies. They're cute as hell. We love them to bits. But dogs and cats are a lifetime commitment, a lifetime commitment. And when you go out and you buy a puppy or a kitten for your child, for your love, these are not 2 months and throw them away type gifts. And I strongly encourage you to think long and hard, think long term before you do something like that, because after the holidays, sadly, shelters become overloaded with unwanted pets, and we don't want to do that to our fur kids. This picture is a great illustration of exactly that. It says, for all those getting a puppy this Christmas, keep this in mind. This is a powerful picture of a man and his dog taken 15 years apart. 15 years. That would be 2037, which is hard at this point to even imagine. Same man, same dog. Owning a pet is a lifetime duty. If this isn't what you had in mind, you might want to consider another gift. Check that out. This visually is such a great way to describe to you what sort of a commitment a pet can be and should be. 15 years apart. Both of them have gotten a little white around the edges. Great looking dog, by the way. But but please do remember that when you think about possibly getting a pet for Christmas. All right. Yeah, however, if you can make the commitment, if you can make this lifetime commitment, the animal's life, not yours necessarily, the life of the animal, if you can make that kind of commitment, go for it. There's no better love. All right. We're going to move on to our book. Before we do, one little thing I wanted to share with you, which is a frightening statistic. And it's one of the reasons why I decided for the last half of this show, and we've done it from the very beginning, we would read classic books. I love reading. Reading to your children, science has shown us, is as beneficial as your child reading. Now, by all means, encourage your child to read. Buy them books. Teach them to read. Make sure they're being taught in school the proper reading skills. Give them anything and everything to read. Reading, reading, reading. We are such advocates of that here. In fact, we encourage you to go over where we get all of our books. They're all free. It's from Gutenberg.org, the Gutenberg Project, where you can find classic books, thousands of them. They're all free. They're all in the public domain. And we are big advocates of reading, not only as an adult, should you keep reading. Read books you've read when 30, 40 years ago. You'll find your brain has changed, your perspective has changed, and you might find it to be a totally different book. This is a frightening statistic. I cannot believe when I saw this. 10% of the world is illiterate. Can you imagine? 10% of the world is illiterate. That is 800 million people. And that is scary stuff. Wow. 800 million people. Teach your kids to read, my friends. Teach your kids to read. All right. Speaking of which, it's time. Let's head on over to our book. And there we go. We've been reading Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Nicholas, hey, thanks for the follow, Nicholas. We appreciate you. All right. Let me just do a quick coffee break here. By the way, if you're looking for Christmas gifts, this is the Mikko mug. This is our I'm Not Wearing Pants show logo with our little girl Mikko on the back. We've twitch.tv, go to the About page under J. Sheldon NoPants, and check out Mikko merchandise, and you'll see all kinds of mouse pads, t-shirts, baseball caps, hoodies. We got all kinds of cool stuff there, including this very cool Mikko mug. All of our merchandise has our girl on it. We've all got Mikko on there. All right. There, I had to do one quick plug, okay? All right. Give me a second here. All right. It is Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. We have done so many of these great classic books, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, The Little Prince, Peter Pan, and right now for the holiday season, we've been doing A Christmas Carol. We got through all of the spirits, and it is the spirit of a Christmas future has just left our man Scrooge, and we move on into the final chapter, which is Stab 5. It's called The End of It. And just to get ourselves in, let me give you the last little bit of what happened at the end of the chapter last. Holding up his hands in a last prayer to have his fate reversed, Scrooge saw an alteration in the phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down into a bedpost. And now, Stab 5, the end of it. Yes, and the bedpost was his own. The bed was his own. The room was his own. Best and happiest of all, the time before him was his own to make amends in. I will live in the past, the present, and the future, Scrooge repeated as he scrambled out of bed. The spirit of all these shall strive within me. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven and the Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees, old Jacob, on my knees. He was so fluttered and so glowing with his good intentions that his broken voice would scarcely answer to his call. He'd been sobbing violently in this conflict with the spirit, and his face was wet with tears. They are not torn down, cried Scrooge, folding one of his bed curtains in his arms. They're not torn down, rings and all, they're here. I am here. The shadows of the things that would have been may be dispelled. They will be. I know they will. His hands were busy with his garments all the time, turning them inside out, putting them on upside down, tearing them, mislaying them, making them parties to every kind of extravagance. I don't know what to do, cried Scrooge, laughing and crying in the same breath, and making a perfect Laocoon of himself with his stockings. I'm as light as a feather. I'm happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. I am giddy as a drunken man. A Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to all the world. Hello there, whoop, hello. He'd frisked into the sitting room, and now was standing there, perfectly winded. There's the saucepan that the gruel was in, cried Scrooge, starting off again, and going round the fireplace. There's the door by which the ghost of Jacob Marley entered. There's the corner where the ghost of Christmas Present sat. There's the window where I saw the wandering spirits. It's all right. It's all true. it all happened. Ha ha! Really, for a man who'd been out of practice for so many years, it was a splendid laugh, a most illustrious laugh, the father of a long, long line of brilliant laughs. I I don't know what day of the month it is, said Scrooge. I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. I don't know anything. I'm quite a baby. Ah, never mind, I don't care. I'd rather be a baby. Ha! Hello there! And so we continue with our story. He was checked in his transports by the church bells ringing out the lustiest peals he had ever heard. Clash, clash, hammer, ding dong bell, bell ding dong hammer, clang clash. Oh, glorious, glorious! Running to the window, he opened it up and put out his head. No fog, no mist, clear, bright, jovial, stirring, cold, cold, piping for the blood to dance to. Golden sunlight, heavenly sky, sweet, fresh air, merry bells. Oh, glorious, glorious! What's today? Cried Scrooge, calling downward to a boy in Sunday clothes, who perhaps had loitered in to look about him. Returned the boy with all his might of wonder. What's today, my fine fellow? Said Scrooge. Today, replied the boy. Why, it's Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day, said Scrooge to himself. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they like. Of course they can. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow. Hello, returned the boy. Do you know the poulterers in the next street but one at the corner? Scrooge inquired. I should hope I did, replied the lad. Oh, an intelligent boy, said Scrooge. A remarkable boy. Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there? Not the little prize turkey, the big one. What? The one as big as me? Replied the boy. What a delightful boy, said Scrooge. It's a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my buck. Well, it's hanging there now, replied the boy. Is it? Said Scrooge. Go and buy it. Walk, exclaimed the boy. No, said Scrooge. I'm in earnest. Go, buy it. Tell them to bring it here, that I may give them the directions where to take it. Come back with the man, and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes, I'll give you half a crown. The boy was off like a shot. He must have had a steady hand at a trigger who could have gotten a shot off half as fast. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's, whispered Scrooge, rubbing his hands and splitting with a laugh. He shan't know who sends it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. Joe Miller never made such a joke as sending it to Bob's will be. The hand in which he wrote the address was not a steady one, but write it he did, somehow, and went downstairs to open the street door, ready for the coming of the poulterer's man. As he stood there, waiting the arrival, the knocker caught his eye. Oh, I shall love thee as long as I live, cried Scrooge, patting it with his hand. I scarcely ever looked at it before. What an honest expression it has on its face. It's a wonderful knocker. Here's the turkey. Hello, how are you? Merry Christmas. It was a turkey. He never could have stood upon his legs, that bird. he would have snapped them off short in a minute like sticks of sealing wax. "Why, it's impossible to carry that to Camden Town," said Scrooge. "You must have a cab." The chuckle with which he said this, and the chuckle with which he paid for the turkey, and the chuckle with which he paid for the cab, and the chuckle with which he compensated the boy, were only to be exceeded by the chuckle with which he sat down breathless in his chair again and chuckled until he cried. And that's where we will leave this final chapter tonight, and we'll pick it up again and close out our story of A Christmas Carol on our next stream. Wow, such a great ending. I mean, we all have heard this story 1,000 times, but to actually read the original Dickens words is it's quite incredible. All right. Okay, my friends, thanks so much for joining across Facebook, YouTube, twitch.tv, and rumble.com. I will see you again on Wednesday night. Be sure you like, subscribe, share, follow, whatever platform you might be on. And of course, to our podcast listeners, thank you very much for all the downloads and the subscriptions over there. Appreciate it. If you'd like to help out the show, it's crawling at the bottom right now. Patreon.com/JSheldon is where you can go to help support the program. I'll see you on Wednesday night. Until then, I'm Jay Sheldon, and I'm not wearing pants. Good night.
Yo.